look. I want to think that that's true. Um, what my experience of the difference between, or the dichotomy between the male and female approach to it is that men are in general more adventurous than women, right?
Mm.
In general. So in any category, in any subject, whether you're exploring mountains or arranging flowers, men are more adventurous. So
Mm.
men are going to try different things. They're going to do different things. They're probably actually going to run the businesses of the flower shops. Men are going to be
Mm.
behind the scenes doing all the legal work and the marketing and the financing of things, and they're going to employ women in that sales perspective
Mm.
or whatever. And to be really honest, arranging a bunch of flowers is not a very complicated activity, right? And even if you know nothing about it, it's something you could probably learn in a day, right?
Mm.
You got to basic colors and does it look nice? And of course, everybody's tastes are different. So, I mean, you ask the customer what the customer likes. Do you like
Mm.
this or do you like this? And if the customer says, I like this, then you go with that. If the customer says, I don't know, then you can go with whatever you want to
Mm.
go with because the
Yeah.
customer just doesn't know
Yeah.
what the customer likes. And I know what I like as a person, and I have been in flower shops many times and said, and said, no, I don't like this. I don't want that. I want something different. I know what I like. I don't like those colors. I want something brighter or something, just something that appeals to me more.
Mm.
And so it's it's like this whole idea that you have to spend 20 years in education, and at the end of it, we put people into education for 20 years and end up working in a flower shop. It's
Mm.
like that's a bit of a waste of an education because you don't really need an education to work in a flower shop, although it's not a bad thing to have anyway. And if you're happy doing it, great. And if you can make money doing it, great. And it's if it brings joy to people, then good. But it's one of those crazy non-essential industries, really. I mean, in for the average person, I suppose. I don't know. I mean, like I said, the flowers brighten up a room, but I always see me being practical inverted commas, because what is practical. I always thought it was better to buy a plant than a flower. Because as I said, the flowers are dead and they're dying. And in 5 days, the flowers, they will look like somebody drove a truck over them or something. They'll be dying, and you look at them and you feel sad. Um, but I always thought it's better to buy a plant because a plant will last for years, and it was more of a sort of long-term thing. It's probably better for the environment and the room. And once a month, you add water, and the plant sort of takes water and sunlight, and the plant takes care of itself. And yeah, and it's also it is hard if you're busy to look after those things because um, if the flowers are at home and you're working outside of home, then you're not at home to look after them. And if you're working from home, then I guess that's different. You can have them there, and that's good. But if you travel, what do you do if you travel? How do you look after the plants if you travel? That's difficult. Same with pets and animals. They're nice to have, but what happens when you want to travel somewhere? What happens when you want to visit people? What
Mm.
happens when you want to go on holiday? What happens when you have to do something else for work? It's um, it's little things make big differences, and you can't exactly simulate the existence of nature. Nature brings something into a
Mm.
place, into a space, into a room, uh, which is quite unique. And at its base level, furniture is functional, but
Mm.
the environment in which you live in really needs to be more than functional, and in fact, it really needs to be beautiful. And
Mm.
beauty is an underappreciated value in the modern world. It's not something that we don't appreciate at all. It's just something we don't appreciate enough.
Mm.
And we all know it when we see it. It's the love and care and attention to detail. It could be a flower, but it could be a car, it could be a painting, it could be a piece of clothing. It's that attention to detail that makes it that makes life more interesting.
Mm.
I was asked years ago on a podcast, what what is your goal? What is your aim? What do you want to achieve in life? And the answer that I gave was just to seek things that are beautiful
Mm.
and appreciate them, because there is a little bit of that everywhere, whether it's the sun coming through the clouds, or whether it's the sparkle of light on the water, or whether it's the wind blowing sand across the beach, um, or whether it's seeing people happy because of something you've done or you've helped them with, or whatever.
Mm.
Those elements of beauty are everywhere, and they're very seldom focused on by media, right?
Mm.
Media in the modern world is just trash, really. It's just rubbish. It just wants to highlight dark things for some reason instead of light things. There's there are more good things than bad things that happen on a daily basis. Don't get
Mm.
me wrong, bad things happen constantly, right? But in general, there's more good things than bad. See, I've been thinking about that for a long period of time, about about the psychology and the power of the um, the negativity in the human mind, and I'm very aware of it in myself. It's different for different people, obviously, and some people are generally more positive and more optimistic than other people.
Mm.
I'm not exactly sure what the reason for that is. I think there could be thousands of different reasons for it. It might be parenting, it might be something innate within the person themselves, it might be something about their environment, but it's very important to approach every single situation, every single problem with as positive an attitude as possible
Mm. Mm.
to finding a solution there, because negativity leads to more negativity, and positivity leads to more positivity. And what people need to do in business, it's not the perfect solution, but it's part of it, is bring more positivity to the table, bring more
Mm.
solutions orientated ideas to the table. And in my experience, people can choose to see the negative or to see the positive. Um, Not everything is an opportunity. And people will tell you
Mm.
everything is an opportunity, and you can argue that, but not everything is a real opportunity. For example, obligations are very often not real opportunities, but you can still take into the situation very positive, maybe idealistic approach, because if you don't have the vision to see how amazing or how beautiful something could be, then you're not going to get there, right?
Mm.
Um, if you don't have that specific goal in the back of your mind, if you can't be an architect of your own life and design things the way that they need to be for yourself, you're going to have problems, and you need vision, and you need to make things
Mhm.
beautiful. Everybody loves beautiful things, whether it's a flower or whether it's a car or whether it's just the nature of human aesthetics. So we all seek beauty, which is in essence a kind of symmetry that exists, and we all know it, but it's almost become taboo to talk about it because we haven't really what's the word? We haven't come to terms with our own dark side, which is that we will destroy things as fast as we create them, or we will destroy things faster than we will create them if we're not
Mhm.
careful. And beauty is part of the element of it's the unknown element of creation, where when you start to paint a picture, you don't know if it's going to be a good picture or a bad picture, but you try to focus and give it your attention and make it better. It's always nice to walk into somebody's office and see that it's open and it's clean, and they've got some nice pictures on the wall, and it's always nice
Mhm.
to have those, to see that someone's paid attention to those elements. And yeah, we see it when we look around us in the world, when we've all visited people's homes and seen
Mhm.
that they're some people are tidy and organized when you visit them, and some people's homes are just upside down with everything everywhere, and they just don't appreciate things enough to